and no interest financing. Take advantage of these holiday savings by calling West Shore Homes.
'Tis the season for lots of things, including the flu, sadly, and no one wants to deal with that at Christmas time. So Sharon Goforth is here from the Hamilton County Health Department to remind us of the best ways to keep from getting it. Good to see you.
Good to see you also.
Should I wash my hands while I talk to you?
Always, and look at mine, how horrible they look because they get washed all the time. But that, I mean, that's one of the first things you automatically think about for anything that we talk about is making sure that you're washing your hands.
It would be an interesting study to know how many more people wash their hands now than they did 3 years ago.
Before COVID
taught us that.
It really did. I think it made a big difference. I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time.
Right.
But, yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to tell a story on Sharon. When she came walking in the building this morning, I let her in from our front lobby, and you had on a mask.
I did.
Are you supporting wearing those?
I still wear a mask. If I am going to be closer than 6 feet to you for more than 15 minutes, my mask is on. When I'm at work, if I leave my office to go anywhere else in the building, my mask goes on my face before I walk out of my office.
And yet, you are not living in fear because you're about to head out to go visit your daughter in New Orleans.
No, I'm not living in fear, but I'm still making sure that I'm protecting myself to the best of my ability, even though I'm still out and about. You're absolutely correct.
Okay, so flu. It's a virus, not a bacteria.
It's a virus.
So if you get it, you just have to deal with it.
Pretty much. I mean, there are some medications that we can do for flu after you've been diagnosed, but that needs to happen quickly. And we know that it's not going to get rid of the flu for you, but it will make it less severe for you. So there are those options for you if you get that diagnosis early.
Is there such a thing as the flu season anymore, Sharon?
There really isn't. Flu is with us all year long, but we automatically think about it once it gets colder. And a lot of the reason for that is when it gets colder, we all move inside, so we're closer together. If we have one person there that has the flu, you're going to see it spread quicker. So that's a lot of the reason why you see the emphasis during the cold months.
Does it? Because my one daughter, one of my children has had it one time, and she was fine, and then all of a sudden she was leveled.
Yeah.
Is that standard?
It kind of is. It comes on very quickly. They say it's an acute onset. I used to jokingly tell people when I would do flu vaccines, well, I've never had the flu, so I'm not taking the flu vaccine. I say, good for you. And they say, well, how does it make you feel? I said, literally when your hair hurts.
I've heard that from people.
Because you are so achy and so sick from flu.
So, okay, in terms of a warning sign, you don't really get one.
You really don't. You can go to bed feeling fine and wake up in the middle of the night very sick.
So
you may not get a clue.
I know you're going to tell me to get the flu vaccine.
Absolutely.
What are you warding off? Because there are always different strains of it, right?
The vaccines that we see in the U.S. now, they automatically have 2 A strains of flu and 2 B strains of flu.
Is that standard? Is that
that is very standard.
Been?
Well,
okay.
Up until a few years ago, we would have 2 A's and 1 B. We had a trivalent. Everything has now gone to the quadrivalent.
Okay.
And they determine what's going to be in the flu vaccine every year for the United States. They look at what happened in the southern hemisphere during their flu season, which happens before ours. But then we also look at what happened last year. And they make a best guess as to what they think the strains are going to be for that year.
So I'll go back to the COVID point, because it too is a virus.
Absolutely.
One of the most fearful things about that, I think, for a lot of people were the respiratory issues that came with it.
And flu's the same way.
Flu is the same way?
It's a respiratory illness, yes it is. And now we kind of throw in RSV to that mix because it is also respiratory. So you're starting to hear a lot about RSV for children and older adults.
Back in the day when you would talk about the flu season being here, timing was kind of an issue. There was these weeks that you wanted to get it. Is that the case now?
Well,
the vaccine, I mean.
I think we still look at, we don't want you to miss an opportunity to vaccinate. So if you know you're going to have somebody in a medical office in September, even go ahead and give it. I personally don't take my flu vaccine until right before Thanksgiving, but that's a personal choice for me.
Right.
But you want to kind of, October on, get your flu vaccine. Here locally, our flu usually goes up late January, early February. That's when we usually see our largest numbers, usually. That can change. But that way you know you still have that immunity during that peak part for our flu season here. So it kind of gives you maybe a little bit of an advantage.
Right. Are there people who are more susceptible to it, or is it an equal opportunity infector?
Well, it is, but we know that the younger population will have probably a more severe reaction. older. As we get older, our immune system, doesn't matter, it starts to weaken. And anybody with a chronic medical condition, if you have a chronic heart, lung, if you're diabetic, those kinds of things are automatically taxing your immune system.
Okay.
So anything else added on to that is going to probably make it potentially worse for
Are
you.
y'all giving the vaccines? at
We
the health
certainly are.
department?
Come on down and get them.
Okay. Do you have to go to the main location downtown?
Or our satellite clinics.
Okay.
Any of our satellite clinics.
So if they call the Hamilton County Health
we'll
Department
be
or go on
happy
the
to,
website.
We'll be happy to tell you where to come.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The phone number is very easy to remember. It's 423-209-8000. And then their website is health.hamiltontn.org. And if you go on the website, you will notice all the other things, if you browse a little bit, that they do there.
Absolutely.
If it's part of your life, they're covering it for you.
We are trying our best.
Have fun with your daughter.
I'm going to do that. Thank you so much.
We're back.
Arby's added 6 pieces of bacon to Arby's burger. Adding more stuff wouldn't be responsible. So Arby's took a step back and doubled the cheese anyway. Arby's, we have the meat.
Why are women everywhere raving about Sono Bello?
Today is reveal day. Here we go.
Oh my god! This is flat! Look at this. I love my new body. I love my new shape.
You